Hi, I'm Rich Heffron. This is this week's Delaware State Chamber of Commerce Legislative Minute. We're going to talk about two things. First is DEFAC met yesterday. They lowered the revenue picture from March by $9 million for this fiscal year 16, and for next fiscal year 17, they lowered the revenue picture by $6 million. That's $14 million over 2 years. In the scheme of things, in a $4 billion budget, that's not a lot. But the fact of the matter is that for last fiscal year 15, this fiscal year 16, and next fiscal year 17, over the 3 years, they're only showing about $123 billion increase in revenue. Sounds like a lot of money, but in the scheme of things, on the size of our budget, it's only about right around 1% growth in revenue. That is not sustainable. It's, as we said before, it's essentially flat, and our costs are going up. Why is that important? Well, if you read today's paper, study workers not paid too little, employee health costs spur debate. This is about a report that was done by the Delaware Public Policy Institute. It was issued yesterday, comparing the salaries and the compensation packages for state employees as compared to people in the private sector with similar jobs. That did not include school teachers, and it did not include police officers or the state police, because their jobs, there's no comparable job in the private sector. And the headline's misleading. It doesn't say state workers are paid too little. What the report says is state workers are paid about 12% less than people in the private sector, but that their compensation, essentially their benefits, are about 24 to 28% higher than you find in the private sector. There's been a little bit of pushback on this from people in the State Employees Union, which we certainly would expect, and some legislators and maybe some others. But the fact of the matter is, the data is what the data is. It's exactly what it shows. And how does it relate back to DEFAC and the revenue picture? We've discussed before. This study is related to the study done by the Roundtable that showed that the budget over the next 5 to 6 years shows a large deficit if we cannot increase revenues or cut costs. And one of the leading reasons that those costs are expanding so quickly are health care costs, and also the cost of state pensions. The governor has legislation, which he will introduce, which we support, that makes some changes in the state employee health care system. We agree that those changes need to be made, very similar to changes that have been made in the private sector. State employees are going to pick up a small portion more of their health insurance. For most of them, will be less than $49 a month. And also, they will be offering a health savings account for employees, current employees, and new employees will be required to use a health savings account. This is to control the cost, the health care costs. Bottom line, we said it before, we'll continue to say it, the current revenue structure of the state is not sustainable. We need to reshape the state budget, and we need to reshape our revenue structure. And as we said, the State Chamber of Commerce, we are prepared to help in any way that we can. We're not trying to put down state employees. What we're trying to do is make sure that the state and the citizens of the state have a budget that's fair and that's sustainable. Thank you for watching. We'll have more on this, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks.